Hello, greetings to everyone and welcome to Grade 8 Tutor. My name is Safari Ernest and you can call me CEO. Today I'm going to take you through the recent mid-semester questions, that is 2025 Midsem questions. Okay, so we have 20 questions here. We are going to look at them, how to solve them, so that it will help you understand all the topics that are likely to come in your exams. Okay, so please let's quickly run through. So we have here the question and it says Poco Trading Supermarket pays its staff and supervisors basic salary plus commission plus bonus and override as shown below. It also makes some funds available for staff to draw from in case they are financially distressed. So we use the information to answer questions 1 to 10. So we are going to use the table there to answer question 1 to 10. So the table, we have the basic salary for supervisors, we have the basic salary for staff, we have the personal quota for staff, we have the personal commission rates, which is 7.15% for sales up to 47,500. Okay, then we have bonus, which is 1,500 flat for excess sales above 57,500, and the override is 2.85%. Now this is the interpretation of the table. For the salary for supervisors, that one we all know. Salary for staff, personal quota for staff, we know. And so the personal quota, have it in mind that it is given to us as what? 10,000. So it means if you make any sales less than this 10,000, you are not going to get commission. So any staff who make a sale of around 8,000, there will be no what? Commission. Put that one in mind. Okay, if you make a sale less than 10,000, you are not going to get a commission. That is what the personal quota means. Now, personal commission rate, it was given to us at 7.15%, or you can equally say 0.0715. Okay, and this percentage is for sales that is up to 47,500. It means now before you can get a commission, you need to get what? The 10,000. Okay, going. And now it is not 10,000 to infinity. It is 10,000 to this 47,500 before we give you 7.15% of the amount. So the amount that is between 10,000 to 47,500. The amount here, that is what will be given to you as what commission, which is 7.15%. So the amount in between these two amounts, that is what you are going to multiply it by what? The 7.15%. It means when you get more than this, okay, the amount on this one will not be calculated for. You are going to ignore that amount. So all that you need to do is 10,000 to 47,500. There's the maximum sales we want you to make, and there's the minimum sales we want you to make in order to get what? Commission. So suppose you make a sale of, let's say, 50,000 Ghana cedis, like this. You see, it is more than this, right? Now we are saying if you get more than this, we will not multiply it by the 7.1%. I hope you get that. So what you are going to do is you are going to ignore this 50,000. Then you find for the difference between these two. So if a staff make a sale of this, it is going to be what? The 47,500 minus what? 10,000. Okay. This. Then any amount you get, you multiply it by 0.0715. Okay, so this is it. So it means for this 50,000, that is why the question also stated that bonus, the bonus is what? 1,500 flat for excess sales above what? 57,500. So if you make, let's say not 50,000, let's say if you make a sale of 70,800. Let's say this is the sale that you made. Because it is more than this, you ignore this sale, you find for the difference and you multiply it by the rates. I hope you get that. Then after you are done with the commission, it means this commission is going to give you what? Full commission. That person is qualified for full commission, right? And so in this case, the commission here, we are going to call it full commission. Okay, yes. And you see, because it is 70,800 and we don't want to multiply it by 7.15%, what we are going to do is the excess sales on this, so from 47,500 upward till you get here, that amount there, we are just going to give you 1,500 of that amount as bonus. Do you get it? So that is how most of the organizations they work. They will give you a minimum quota that you have to make before you get a commission. Then they will not risk and tell you, then pay every amount that you make, you are going to get 7.5%. Other than that, you are going to get more money and they will be losing a lot. So they will set some two boundaries for you. Okay, they will set two boundaries for you. So the amount between them is the full commission. Then any excess, they will give you bonus from that excess. Are you good? That is how the organizations work. Then we also have stock quota, which is 60,000. And you know stock quota, you will need it when you are calculating for the override and the stock commission amount. Okay. Then we also have the override rate, which is 2.85%. Okay. So this 2.85%, that is what override. And you know override are given to supervisors, not staff. So when you are calculating for total earning of any supervisor, what you would have to do is what? You would have to calculate for override and you add it to the person's salary plus any other incentives. I hope you get it. So now we are going to tackle our question. Okay. So please, we are now going to start with our questions. So for question 1, it says, what is the personal commission amount for a staff who makes a sale of 38,700? So personal commission amount, note the term very careful. Commission amount, not personal commission alone. So it says personal commission what? Amount, right? And the sale was 38,700. So sale 38,700. That was given in the question. So personal commission amount is the same as the commission amount. And how do we calculate for commission amount? Commission amount is sales minus what? Quota. Then in case if you have returns in the question, minus what? Returns. But then from this question we don't have any returns. So the personal commission amount, it is going to be what? Sales minus quota. If it was to be personal commission, that is when you multiply it by the rate. But then anytime you see this amount, commission amount, it means sales minus what? Quota, just like that. So here you are going to get what? Your sales is 38,700 minus the quota was given to us as 10,000. Okay. So when you subtract, you have what? 28,700 as your final what? Answer. So 28,000, is it 28,000? 28,700, yes. That is going to be our personal commission amount. And of course, that is E, okay? Because what is there, they have intentionally calculated for, how do you call it, commission. So if you are tempted, you will be like, the answer is not in the question, and then you try to calculate for commission, but then there is the correct procedure. If it is talking about commission amount, you subtract the quota from this, okay? Then you multiply it by what? No, you don't multiply it by anything, you leave it like that, and the answer becomes your commission what? Amount. So for question 1, our answer is E. Question 1, our answer is E. Now let's move on to the second question. How much commission will a staff make if she makes a sale of 57,000 and had a return of what? 15,000. So how much will the person make? Okay, so we have question 2. So question 2 says, how much commission will a staff make if she makes a sale of 57,000? So the sale was given to us 57,000, right? Then the return of 15,000. So we have return, which is what? 15,000. Okay, so we have the sale here, we have the return. Now how do you calculate for commission if you have return? So for commission, this is not commission amount, this is personal commission. So it is equal to what? Sales minus quota. Now since you have returns here, you subtract returns as well, right? Returns, multiplying your rates. Okay, you can do it this way, but then one thing you also have to take note is that now as a business, if I give you something to go out and sell, and when you bring back let's say the sales and some of the items, now I've given you one crate of egg that you should go and sell. You came back giving me the money, okay, and you told me 2 eggs got broken, right? Now because this is a return, when you come, now I have to subtract the amount of 2 eggs from the sale. Do you get it? Before I will calculate your commission. Other than that, if I calculate the commission on the sale given to me and ignore these 2 eggs, it means I'm the one going to incur loss as what a business. So what the businesses, what they do is that when you bring a return, they subtract the return from the sales before they calculate for what? Commission, right? And so in this case, since we have returns there, that's how we're going to do it. We are first going to subtract our returns from the sales, okay? So when you subtract the returns from the sale, we call the remaining net sale. Okay, so the net sale is equal to your sales minus what? The returns. And so the sale was given to us 57,000 and the returns 15,000. Okay. So in this case you are going to get what? 42,000. Okay. Now this 42,000 is the sale that you are going to use at the moment. I hope you get it. And so you are going to ignore this sale. Now you are going to use this. So after getting this, what you always have to check is that make sure when a question is given, you check the sale and you check for the highest amount. You don't forget I told you they will be giving you 2 boundaries, right? 5,000 like this. So they will be giving you 2 boundaries. So anytime you get a sale, come and check. If the sale is more than this, the person will get a commission. But if it is more than this, you ignore the sale and you find for the difference. So if the sale is no more than this and it's between the two, that is when you take the sale and you subtract this from it. So now if you see that this 42,000 is not more than this, right? So we are going to use the normal approach, that is sales minus quota times rates. But then if we were to get 50,000 here, you see that the 50,000 will be more than this, and that is when we will ignore the 50,000 and find for the difference and multiply it by the rate. I hope you get it. I think you will get some of the questions there, so in order not to confuse you, let's continue from here. When we get there, I'll try and explain it to you better, okay? So now since you have the 42,000 here as your sales, you are done dealing with the returns. So what you are going to do is, you say commission is equal to sales minus quota, right? So this is going to be your sales. So 42,000 minus quota. Now the quota was given in the question or in the table as 10,000. Then you multiply it by what? 0.0715. That is your rate. Okay. So when you do that, you are going to get 2,288. You are going to get a commission of 2,288, right? And for this matter, 2,288 is the option A. Okay, is the option A. So we have question 2 here as A. Okay. Okay. So let's solve the rest, but let me finish with the number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So we are done with question 2. Let's move on to question 3. If a staff makes a sale of 60,500, so there is a sale of what? 60,500. Okay. Then and has a draw of 1,350. And so there is a draw 1,350. Okay, what will be his or her net earning? Okay, what will be his or her net earning? So when you talk about net earning is the same as what? Take home. So we say net earning. So if you don't see net earning and you see take home, it is what? The same. Okay, it's the same. Now you ask yourself, how do we calculate for net earning or take home? Anytime you hear the word net, have it in mind that net is what? Subtraction, or it is talking about minus deductions, right? So if they are talking about net earning, it means you have to calculate for the person's what? Gross earning. That is the total earning. Gross earning is the total earning, right? Then you subtract the draw. Okay, so if you subtract the draw, that is when it becomes what? Net earning. Okay, now since you have the draw here, how do you calculate for gross earning? That's how you go with the question. Okay, so after writing the formula, you ask yourself, you have this, so what is left? This is left. Now how do you calculate gross earning? So you quote it, gross earning is equal to, now let's check, the person is a staff, so the person is probably going to get what? A salary plus what? Commission. Then you will check if there is bonus for the person. Now before you get a bonus, what do you have to you have to get a sale above 57,500. now this is the sale the person made. It is above what is there, the bonus quota. So it means you are going to give the person a bonus, right? So when you are tackling the person, that's how you go back. You make sure you check, you compare the sales with whatever is in the box. Okay, other than that, you would just be leaving some items behind. Okay, now you ask yourself, you have the salary in the table, you have the bonus in the table, this is left. So when you finish calculating for this, you are done. I hope you get it. So you tackle the commission. So commission is also equal to what? Sales minus quota minus returns. Now there is no returns, so it is going to be what? Sales minus quota. Okay, now let's say sales minus quota. Let me write it, times weight. Okay, so this sales minus quota, do we have the sales here? Yes, this is the sale, and this sale is more than what was given as the highest sale you need to make. Okay, before we multiply it by the 7.5%. So since this one is more than this, you cannot use this one in your calculation and multiply it by 7.15%. Other than that, the owner of the business is the one going to make a loss. Do you get it? Or there is going to be a reduction in the profits of the organization. Okay, so what you are going to do is now sales minus quota, and I said if the sale is more than this, you ignore the sale, then you find for the difference of this and you multiply it by what? The 7.15%. Because the 7.15% does not come before the 10,000, neither does it crosses what? The first 7,500. The 7.15% stay within what? It stays within the 10,000 and the first 7,500. I hope you get it. And so since it is more than that, we are going to say 47,500 minus what? The quota, which is 10,000. Okay, which is 10,000. Then we do what? We multiply it by the rate, the 7.15%. Okay, so once you do this, it means you are going to get 2,681.25. So you are going to get a commission of 2,681.25. So this one becomes your commission. Okay, and this commission is a full commission. It is a commission that everyone in the organization can get, irrespective of the sales that you make. That is, I'm talking about irrespective of the sales that you make. If you make a sale less than the highest, you are going to get what? Something less than this. But immediately you get a sale more than this, your highest commission or the highest amount of commission the organization will give you will be this. No one in the organization will make a commission more than this. I hope you get it. So this is a full commission. Once this amount is given to you, it means your sales was more than what? This. As simple as that. Okay, so now since you have the commission, you have the salary in the question, you have the bonus in the question. So we are just going to add everything to get our gross earning. So you say our gross earning is equal to, now the salary in the question for is the person a staff or supervisor? A staff. So the salary for staff is 1,240. So we have 1,240 plus the commission, that is 2681.25 plus the bonus. The bonus is 1,500. So 1,500. And so when you add everything, you are going to get 5,421. You are going to get 5,421.25. And when you check from the options, that is option D. Okay, that is option D. So our third question, the answer is what? D. I hope we get it. Okay. So now let's move on to the fourth question. So I'm just going to clean some parts, then I'll continue. Okay. So for question 4, it says, what is the store commission amount if the store sales for the period is 102,000? So we have been given the store sales to be what? 102,000. So 102,000 is the store sales. Now the question said, what is the store commission amount? It is not store commission. We don't have anything like store commission. We don't calculate commission for the store. Do you get it? The only time you calculate something related to that is when you are calculating for override for a supervisor. But then we don't have commission for the store. So anytime you hear store commission, there is going to be amount. So store commission amount. And store commission amount is the same as how we calculate for what? Commission amount. So it is going to be what? Store sales minus store quota. If there is store returns, it becomes minus store returns. So store sales minus store quota minus store returns, and you are done. If there is no returns, it becomes what? Store sales minus store quota, and you are done. So in this case, our store commission amount is going to be store sales, which has been given, minus store quota, and we are done. Okay, so it is going to be 102,000 minus the store quota, 60,000, right, from the question. Store quota is 60,000, so we have here 60,000. So when you subtract the two, you are going to get 42,000. You are going to get 42,000 as your store commission amount. Okay, and you are done. So 42,000 for question 4 is B. Is B. Okay, so question 4 we have it towards B. I hope that is good. Okay, so now we move on to question 5. Question 5, it says Humara is a supervisor. How much overhead does she make given the store sales in question 4? So this is the store sales in question 4. What is it? The store sales in question 4, right? And so we are going to calculate for Humara's what? Override. Now how do you calculate for override? Override is what? Store sales minus store quota times the override rates. Okay? Or if you have returns, it becomes store sales minus store quota minus store returns times override rate. Now look at something. We are going to calculate for override in question 4 using this sale. And we have already calculated for store sales minus store quota. So all that we need to do is to multiply it by what? The override rate to get our override, and that is all. Because if we don't multiply the override by this, it means we are going to start the whole process again, then we multiply it by the override, and that is a waste of time. So once you get here, since they are referring you to question 4 and it talks about override, simple, your 42,000 because override is store commission amount times override rate. So it is going to be 42,000 multiplying the override rate, which is 2.85. Yes, 0.0285, or you can write 2.85, then you punch shift and the percentage, and so you press equal sign. It will still give you the same answer. Okay, so for question 5, we are going to get 1197 as our final answer, and that is option B from question 5. That is option B from question 5. Option B. So question 5, we have option B here. So we are done with question 5. Now let's look at question 6. Let's look at question 6. So let's begin here so that I'll solve the question 6 here. Okay. So let's look at this one as well. For question 6, it says, how much is Humara's take home for the period above? Now don't forget, we have calculated for what Humara was given to, or the question stated in question 5 that Humara is what, a supervisor, and so we have already calculated for her override. Now they are asking us to calculate for what, the take home or the net earning, assuming she earns salary but no personal commission in the period. So if she does not earn any personal commission, how much is she going to earn? So if the person is a supervisor, the net, let's go to the formula first. The net earning is equal to gross earning minus what? Draw, right? Then but no commission. Okay, so let's calculate for the gross earning first. So the gross earning is also equal to, because she's a supervisor, there is going to be a salary for supervisor, plus there is not going to be any commission, because it was stated in the question that do not give her with any commission. I hope that is clear. So we will give her override, then we will check if she qualifies for a bonus, right? But then you can only check for the bonus when she made what, sale, right? Now she did not make any sale, that is why we are not giving her any commission, right? And so Humara's total earning is going to be the salary and the override. I hope that is clear. And so we have the override in question 5. Okay, yes, so we are just going to add the override to the salary in the question, then that will be the total for Humara, right? So the gross earning, which is GE, is equal to the salary for supervisors, 1,850, plus the override in question 5. We had 1,197. Okay, so what are we getting in total? We are going to get 3,047. Okay, and that is option B from question 6. Okay, so option B. And so from question 6 we have option B. B. Okay, so let's move on to question number 7. Question number 7 says Abdul Basit is a staff and make a sale of 45,500 and had a return of 1,000. Okay, so a sale of what? 45,500. The sale was given to us as 45,500, and we were given what? A return. And for the return it was 1,000 Ghana cedis. 1,000 Ghana cedis. Okay, so what are we supposed to do? What is his gross earning? So we are going to calculate for the total earning for Abdul Basit. Okay, so I told you, anytime you have a return, when you come, you subtract it from your sale before we proceed with your commission, right? Yes, but let's check from the table. It was before the highest quota was 47,500. Even this one is not getting or is not reaching out to the 47,500. So we can do it straightforward. If this sale is not more than the highest quota in the question, which is the 47,500, you can solve it straightforward as in sales minus quota minus returns. You multiply it by the rate and you go your way. But situation whereby the sale is more than the one in the question, you need to calculate for your net sale before. Okay, so this one you can do it straightforward and go our way, or better still, you can subtract the returns from this to get your net sale to be 1,000 minus this. You are going to get 44,500. Okay, and now you calculate for the commission, which is sales minus quota. So we are going to use 44,500, okay, minus the quota, which is 10,000. Then we multiply it by the rate, which is 0.715. Okay, so for the commission for Abdul Basit, commission, what are you going to get? For his commission, we are going to get, that is question number 7, right? So question number 7, we are going to get 2,466.75. No, I think I'm lost. Yes, question 7. Please hold on. Question 7. Abdul Basit is a staff and made a sale of 45,500 and had a return of, what is his gross earning, right? Yes, so for the commission, we are going to get 2,466.75. So 2,466.75. So this is the commission, but we are asked to calculate for the gross earning. And so the gross earning for a staff is going to be what? The gross earning for a staff is going to be the person's salary plus what? Commission. Okay, no draw, no bonus, because it does not meet the bonus what? Quota. So the salary is what? The salary for staff, let's check from the table, that is 1,240. So we have 1,240 plus the commission, which is what? 2,466.75. Okay, so when you do this, let me confirm the calculations. 1,240 plus 2,466.75. Okay, and what are you getting? You are getting 3,706.75. So 3,000. Question what? 7, right? Question 7. 3,000. Okay. 706.75, right? 3,706. So yes, our final answer, we are getting 3,706.75. Yes, and let's check from the options whether we have that 3,000, and that is option, it was option E, right? Yes, that is option E. On this one, we were fortunate they even provided the option E for us. Okay, yes. So option E. All right. So now we move on to the 8th question. Question number 8. Okay. So question number 8. Question number 8. How much will a supervisor who makes a personal sale of 75,000 take home if store sales for the same period is? So we have a supervisor who makes a personal sale of 75,000. So supervisor, and the personal sale is what? 75,000. Okay. Then the store sales for the period is 136,000. So store sales is 136,500. Okay, 136,500. Okay, so we are going to calculate for a supervisor's what take home or net earning. And you know, for take home is the same as net earning, right? So take home is equal to total earning or gross earning minus draw. Okay, right? Then our total earning for a supervisor, there is no draw in the question, so you assume the draw is 0. Okay, so the total earning is going to be the person's salary plus we are going to give the supervisor what a commission, because some of the supervisors, they do not sell. Do you get it? All that they do is they sit in the office, they just supervise, they sit in the office. So for those supervisors in an organization, we do not give them what commission. But for a supervisor who also what sells, it means we have to give the person what commission, because in as much as he or she is performing his or duties as a supervisor, the same person is also performing a staff what duties. Do you get it? By what selling. So in this matter, we just have to give the person what a commission. I hope you get it. Yeah. So we will give the person commission because there is what a personal what sale. Okay. This is what sale. So we will give the person a commission. Plus, the person is what a supervisor. So she will earn what an override. Okay. She will earn an override. Now, what again? Let's check the sale. If the sale is more than the bonus quota, then we give the supervisor what bonus what as well. So it means yes, this one exceeds the bonus quota. So we are going to give the supervisor bonus. Yes, it means the supervisor is really making money in the organization. The person is earning salary, commission, override, and what bonus. I hope you get it. So we have the salary in the question already. We have the bonus in the question already. What is left is the commission for the supervisor and what the override. Okay, so we are going to calculate the commission for the supervisor. And for the commission, we are not going to calculate it in order to waste time, because from these calculations, have it in mind that in an examination, when the questions are given to you, you may not finish and you just say that the time wasn't enough. The time was enough because this commission that you are going to calculate, don't forget, initially I told you, if the sale is more than what this, it means you have to find for the difference between this and multiply it by the rate, right? And that one you are going to get full commission. So I think from question 2 or 3, we calculated a commission for someone and we gave the person full commission. And so once the sale here is more than this, it means just give the person full commission. Don't calculate for the commission by saying this minus this times rates, then you put it on the calculator to waste 1 minute there. Just bring back what the full commission that you calculated for. I think it was question 2 or so. Question 2, yes. Whereby we were calculating gross and then we calculated for the commission. And so we had 2,681, right? 2,681.25. This is what a full what commission. Okay, if you know this, you just write it, you go your way. Now the only thing you are going to calculate for is what? The override, because the store sales changes. Okay, so the override is going to be your store sales minus store what? Quota, right? The store sales minus store quota times the override. Were we giving store returns? No, so times the override rates. Okay, times the override rates. So the store sales was given to us 136,500. Okay, then store quota in the question, we have 60,000 in the question. Okay, so we just multiplied by the override rate 0.0285. Let me confirm. Yes. So when you multiply it, you are going to get the override of 2,180.25. So the override is 2,180.25. Okay, so that is the override you are going to get. And since you have the commission here, you have the salary and the bonus in the table. That is all. You calculate for the gross earning, right? So you see gross earning is equal to salary for supervisors 1,850, right? Plus the commission, right? So 2,681.25 plus the override, which is 2,180.25 plus the bonus, which is 1,500. So when you add all these, you are going to get 8,211.50. Okay, you are going to get finance to be 8,211.50 Ghana cedis, and that is option D. Okay, for question number 8, let's verify. Option D, yes, it is correct. Option D is correct. Okay, so yes. So that is it. Question number 8 is what? D. Okay. So now let's proceed to question 9. Let's proceed to question number 9. Question number 9. So question number 9, it says if store returns in a period amounted to 35,000. Store returns, right? Yes. So we have store returns amounted to what? 35,000. Okay. So the store returns amounted to 35,000, and total store sales was 100,000. So the store sales was what? 100,000. Okay. Yes. How much override would the supervisor earn? So here we are just going to calculate what? Override. Okay. And override, it is equal to, you go to the formula, override. In an examination, if you know the formulas, don't be wasting time writing the formulas on your question papers, because if it is MCQs, they are not going to see this. It's only the shading, right? So if you know the formula, you just start calculation. Okay. Sometimes you can even just be looking at the question and be doing it on the calculator. So this one like this is asking for what? The override. You know that override is what? Store sales. Store sales minus store quota, right? Minus store returns. Yes, if returns exist. So with this one, what you are going to do is, you know the formula already, so you don't need to write it on the question paper. You take the calculator. What is the store sales? Then you punch the store sales minus store quota from the table is 60,000 minus store returns here 35,000. Then you punch your equal sign. You have your answer in 1 minute. Other than solving before wasting time to shade again. Okay, so put that one in mind. So I'm solving it, going through the steps for you to understand. In case if you don't understand any part of it, that is why. Okay, so let's say store sales was given to us 100,000. Okay, this is override, right? So we multiply it by the override rate 2.85%. Okay, forgive me. 100,000 minus 60,000 minus the store returns 35,000. Then we multiply everything here by our override rate, which is 2.85%. You can equally say 0.0285. Okay, so when you do that, you are going to get 142.50. 142.50, and that is option what? Question 9. 142. So that is option B. Okay, so we have option B here. Now let's look at question number 10. So question number 10, what is there? What is the personal commission amount for all staff, assuming they all make sales above 47,500 and have no returns? That is what I said here. Okay, so what is the personal commission amount? What is going to be their commission amount? If you earn 80,000, if you earn 100,000, if you earn 75,000, what is going to be your personal commission amount? They are all going to get the same commission amount, because if the sale is more than this, you ignore the sale and you find for the difference of these two. And when you find for the difference of these two, it becomes what? The personal commission amount. And that is what the question is asking. Okay, so it is going to be your 47,500. If you make more than this, you ignore that one and you take your 47,500 and you subtract your 10,000 from it. And so at the end, you are going to get 37,500. And so this is commission amount. So you see, we didn't multiply it by any rate. Other than that, it would have been what? Commission. And the question also places an emphasis that there is no returns. So if there is no returns, it is going to be this minus this, sales minus what? Quota, right? And then you are getting what? 37,500. So this becomes your personal commission amount for all the staff or supervisors who make a sale more than this. I hope the understanding is there. So the answer is 37,500, and that is option B. Okay, that is option B. So we have question 10, option B. Okay. Okay, so since we are done with our first 10 questions, we are going to look at the second 10 questions. That is from question 11 to what? 20. Okay, so don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, don't forget to also like, and if you don't understand anything, you make sure you comment it so that I will just attend to you and help you understand it better. Okay, subscribe and hit the notification bell, because we are going to have more live videos, and once we go live, you will be notified. Okay, so don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Okay, let's continue with question number 11. Okay, so question number 11, we have a table, and it says the following is an extract from inventory records of Kasapre Kumasi Limited. The net sales for the period amounted to 220,000 Ghana cedis. The cost of goods sold was 210,600, and purchases amounted to 280,750.75. So we are to use this table to calculate for question 11 to 20. Now we have the beginning inventory, February, May, July, October, November, December, ending inventory. Then we have unit cost, we have market value, we have quantity. Now the difference between the two costs or two prices that you are seeing over there is here. The calculation that we are going to do on the inventory, unless specified, we are going to use what? Unit cost, right? Because everything, don't forget, when we were treating inventory, everything that we were doing was let's say I've forgotten, but do you remember when we were treating inventory, we took a question and we said, okay, for beginning inventory, this is a unit cost and the quantity. A unit cost and the quantity. So if you have a unit cost, it means a cost for one item, right? Then you have a quantity. So if you want to calculate for the extension for that, you multiply the unit cost by what? The quantity, and you get the extension. Okay, yes, so that is what we are going to do. We are going to use the unit cost but not the market value. We will only compare the unit cost and the market value only when the question is what? Specified. Okay, yes, because when you are solving for inventories, we do not use what? Market value. We use unit cost. Okay, so question 11. What is the average price per item purchased in the period, including beginning what? Inventory. Okay, so what is the average price? Now you know that for average price, it is what? The total extension over the total what? Quantity. Do you get it? So in this case, we are going to create what? Extension for the table, then we proceed with the calculation. And since we will be using the extension for almost 8 or 9 questions, we are going to draw it here so that we will refer to it anytime. So extension. Now we have the beginning inventory. The extension is equal to what? Then we have February, May, July, right? So we have February, we have May, July, October, November, December, right? So we have October, we have November, and we have what? December, right? Okay, so we have all the extensions here. So the extension, what we are going to do is very simple. I don't want to draw the table and be making the video long, okay? So I'm just going to show you how to get the extension for beginning inventory. So the extension for beginning inventory is going to be the unit cost. When you check on the screen, you see it. The unit cost, which is 42.15, okay? Then you multiply it by the quantity, which is 115, okay? 115. And that is how you are going to get your what? Extension. Okay, so for the extension for beginning inventory, we are going to get 4,847.25. Okay, so we are going to get 4,800 watts. So we are going to get 4,847.25. Okay, then for February, when you multiply the unit cost by the quantity, you are going to get 7,830, right? Then for May, you are going to get 9,157.50. Then for July, you are going to get what? 10,972.50. And for October, it is 12,967.50. And November to reduce it to get 18,033.75. And for December, we get 22,490. So this is our extension. Okay, this is what we are going to do, and we have our total extension here. Our total extension is equal to 86,298. 86,298.50. Okay. So this is our total extension. Okay. All right. Now let's start tackling the questions, because for most of the questions we are going to need the extension. Okay. So for the first question, what is the average price per item? So average price per item, if you need the average price, it is the total extension that you have gotten, okay, divided by the total quantity. So the average price here is just like how you calculate for me. Okay, the total of all the monetary value of the inventory or the items in stock divided by what? The total quantity, the number of items there. So we calculate for all the items in monetary terms, then we divide the quantity so that we will get an item for one, a price for one item. Okay, so what we are going to do is total extension is what? 86,298.50. Then we will divide it by total quantity. So let's add our total quantity. And when you add all the quantity, you are going to get 1,225. Okay, 1,225. Okay, so that's what you are going to get. Then you divide, you are going to get 70.45. Okay, you are going to get 70.45. And once you get 70.45, that is the average price. So it means all the quantity in stock, okay, all these 1,225 items in stock, the price for one item is for 70.45, because when you multiply the price for one item here by the total number of items we have, you are going to get this money. I hope you get it. Yeah, so this is the answer for question 11, and that is obviously C. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So question 11 is what? C. Okay, so now let's move on to question number 12. What is the extension for the month of October? So since we have calculated for all our extensions, we just come and pick the answer for October, which is 12,967.50. That is all. Okay, so question 12, the answer is what? B. Question 12. There is question 12. So the answer is B. No calculations. Then we move on to question number what? 13. What is the total extension? Now we have gotten the total extension here, so no calculations again. So we just bring the total extension, and the answer is what? Question number what? 13, right? So 13, we are getting D. 13 is D. 86,298.50. So it's D. Okay. Then we move on to question number 14. What is the value of inventory using the average method? Now, if you are checking for the value of inventory using the average method, it is your average price times the quantity, right? It says what? Using what? The average method. Sorry, it is not the quantity. It is your average price times the ending inventory, because you are checking the ending inventory is telling you that this is the number of items we have in the warehouse, or this is the number of items left, that is inventory. So if you want to know the price for the ending inventory or the items in stock, you know the price for one. So you multiply this price by the number of items in inventory. So you are going to multiply this 70.45 by what? The ending inventory to get your average, how to calculate for the average method. Okay. So for the average inventory, value of average inventory, it is your average price here, multiplying your ending with inventory, Okay, so the average price is 70.45, multiplying the ending inventory. Now let's check from the question or the table. The ending inventory was given to us 580. It means the company has 580 items left in the warehouse. So when you multiply, you are going to get 40,861. 40,861. And that one becomes option A for question number what? 14. Option A for question number 14. So let's look at question number what? 15. Question number 15. I would claim this one. So if you are going through, let's read question number 15. What is the value of inventory using the first in, first out method? Okay, so when I was teaching the inventory, I said first in, first out. It means the inventories that came first, they are the first ones that we will sell. Okay, so if you go to the warehouse to check the items left, the items that you see in the warehouse, it means they are the ones that just came, because the ones that came initially, they are the first ones we sold. So the items left in the warehouse are the most recent ones. The one that came first are sold. So the most recent one. That is why we say first in, first out. So this one will come first and it will be the first word, go. So if you are having anything left, it means it is the one down here, not the one at the top. So if you are going to calculate for first in, first out, you start from the down. Last in, first out, you start from the top. Have it in mind. Okay. So for FIFO, or first in, first out, we have the ending inventory, right? So the ending inventory is 580, and the ending inventory is telling us that we have 580 items in stock, right? So we are going to check the quantity for December, quantity for October, and be subtracting it from 580 till it gets finished. Okay, so let's do it. Let's check from the table. December is what? 260, right? So we will subtract December from here. And so since we have December, we are going to write the extension for December. So that's how you do it. When you write December, you are going to use the unit cost times the quantity to get the extension for December. and that is what is there. Okay, so unit cost, which is in the question, times what quantity. That is how we had the 22,490 to 22,490. So this 260, we are multiplying it by 8 unit cost, and it will give us this. Okay, and now let's check the balance left. Here is 0, here is 2, here is 3. So we have 320 left. Okay, so this 320 left. Let's check November. November is what? 225. So we can still subtract the 225 from here. So we have November. We have November, which is the 225. So the 225 will multiply the unit cost for November, and that is the extension for November, which is 18,033.75. Okay, so when you subtract this, you are going to get 5 here. So 0 and lost. Okay, so this one 320 and this one will just give you 100. So I think 95. Yes, you have 95. And so you see this 95, let's check October. October is 175, right? And so October is 175. Yes, 175. But then the balance left is not up to 175. So since it is not up to 175, we are going to use what is left here, not the 175. Please have it in mind. Anytime you subtract and it gets here and compare this with the month that you are going to use, and this is less than what is there, use this. Okay, so the balance is 90 and that one will be 95. That one will be for October. Okay, so October, it is going to be this 95 times what the unit cost for October. And so we are there with question 15. Okay, and so 95 times 74.10 will give us 7,039.50. So 7,039.50. Okay, and so this is the extensions we have. Once we add everything, we are done. Okay, so we are going to get 47,000. We are going to get 47,563. 63.25. Okay, 0.25. So we check for this in the options. That is question number 15. Question number 15. And we don't have 47,000. We don't have this answer in question number 15. So we are going in for E. Okay. For question number 15, E. You shade E and you provide the answer on the question paper. Okay. So now let's move on to question number 16. It says, based on the first in, first out philosophy. Okay. First in, first out philosophy. How much of the ending inventory is from October? So how much of the ending inventory is from October? So it means when we were creating the extensions for October, how much or how many quantity did we use for what? October. That is 95 there. Okay. So the answer is 95. That one, question 16 is what? A. I hope you get it. So we are left with 17, 18, 19, and 20. Okay. So question number 17 is last in, first out. So we are going to do same for the last in, first out. So LIFO. So the last in, first out, it means the item that just came, they are the first ones we will sell. Okay. So if you go to the warehouse and there is ending inventory or items left, it means they are the items which came initially. Because the most recent ones, they are the first we sold. That is last in, the one that came in last. It is the first that will go out. So the December is the last that came, and December will be the first to go out. And what again? October, the most recent, and will be the month to what go. So if you go to the warehouse and there are items left, it means they are items that just that came initially. That is the beginning inventory. So for LIFO, it starts from the top. Okay. Now the ending inventory is still 580. So we are going to subtract from beginning inventory till it's finished. Okay. So for the first beginning inventory, we are going to subtract 115 from it. Okay, so it means we in inventory we have 115 multiplying the unit cost, and that one the extension will give us 4,847.25. okay, so when you subtract this from this, let me check from my calculator. 580 minus 115, right? 115, what am I getting? 465. So I have 465 items left in the warehouse. The next month is February. Now February is 135, so we subtract 135 from it. Okay, so we write February. And that one, the extension, when you multiply the 135 for February from by the unit cost, you are going to get the extension from February, that is 7,830, right? So when you subtract this one, which is minus 135, you are going to get 330, right? So now you have 330 left. Our next month is May. Now for May, we need 150. May, we need 150. Okay, so May 150. So 150 quantity times the unit cost in May, and that one is going to give us the extension for May, that is 9,157.50. Okay, that is for May. And we go on to I think July. And July, we need 165. So we subtract this 330. We subtract 150 from it, and we have 180 left. And this 180 left, we are going to subtract that of July, which is 165. And we will be left with what? 25. Okay, so for July is 165 times the unit cost in July, which is the unit cost is 66.50. And when you do that, you are going to get this 10,972.50. Okay, now the next month is October, and October has 175 quantity, but we are left with what? 20. So what do? We just multiply the remaining one, which is the 20, by the unit cost to get the extension for October. So we are not going to use the extension here, but we are going to use 25 multiplying the unit cost to get the extension for October, and that one will give us 15. Is it 15? Is it 5? Okay, it's supposed to be 15. So we have to get 15 for this side. Where is the info? Yeah, 15, not 25. So for 15, we are going to get 1,111. 1,111.50, right? Yes. Then we are done, because we have used the 15 left for October, so we are done with it. Okay, so we are just going to add everything, and that will be all. So 33,918. Okay, so 33,918.75. So that is it for the last in, first out. Last in, first out. So let's check the option for it. That is option B. Option B for question number 17. 33,918.75. That is option B. Okay. So we have option B here. So we are left with the last 3 questions. Okay. So let's replay this one. Now consider the LIFO and the FIFO. For FIFO, you start from December, then you climb up. For LIFO, you start from what's the top and you come down. So just note the difference. Okay. Yes, that will be it. So now let's move on to question number 18. We still have to get our extension there in case if it will be needed. So what is the value of inventory using gross profit method if Kasapreko decided to determine this at what? Retail. So you are going to calculate gross profit method at retail. You see, we have gross profit method at cost. and gross profit method at retail. So when you are calculating at retail, it is what? The cost of merchandise, right, minus your net sale. Okay, minus your net sale. So let's check whether cost of merchandise was given in the question. The following extract is from the inventory records of Casapra Kumasi Limited. The net sales for the period amounted to, so we were given the net sale. So the net sale here is equal to 220,000. Okay, we were given the net sale, and the cost of goods sold was 200, and that is what we need. Purchases amounted to 280 points. 280. So purchases 280,750.75. Right, yes, 75. Okay, yes, so we can use this information to calculate for what the retail, if they are calculating their gross profit at retail. So how do you calculate for the cost of merchandise? So we say cost of merchandise is equal to what? The beginning inventory plus what? Purchases, right? Beginning inventory is there, don't forget. So the beginning inventory is 4,847.25 plus the purchases in the question, which is 280,750.75. So once you do this one I've taught it in inventory, so you can just go back and check if you don't understand this. So cost of merchandise is beginning inventory plus purchases. We have the beginning inventory in our extension, purchases in the question. So the answer for the cost of merchandise is going to be 285,000. It is going to be 285,598. 598. Okay, so this is your merchandise. Then what about your net sales? You have it here, So all that you need to do is at retail, the gross profit at retail. The formula is this. So your cost of merchandise comes first, 285,598 minus the net sale, which is 220,000. Okay. So once you subtract, you are going to get 65,598. 65,598. And so for that one, option 65,598. We don't have it there. So you don't go for option A, just choose your E, because that is not, this and option A are not what? The same. And so this is it. Okay. Now let's move on to question number 19. So this is how we calculate for question 18. And question number 19, we are going to do a similar one. I don't want to claim this one. Maybe you might need something from there. Oh, why have I claimed? Okay, let's read it. What's the value of inventory at retail? Here too, the same thing. If net sales in the period was, so now they have changed the net sales and the purchases, right? So we are going to make some adjustment to the net sales and the purchases. So the net sale here in this question is what? 46,500. That is 46,500. And the purchases in this question is what? The purchases in this question is 50,150. So 50,150 points. 50,150. Where is it? I'm lost. 0.15. Okay. Yes, so that is the purchases. So we are going to do the same thing, nothing different here. So cost of merchandise is going to be your beginning inventory plus purchases. So beginning inventory is 4847.25 plus the new purchases, which is 50,150.15. And so when you solve it, question number 19, you are going to get cost of merchandise 54,997. So you are going to get 54,997.40. Okay. Then since you have the net sales at retail, it is what? This cost of merchandise, which is 54,997.40. Okay, minus your net sale, which was given here as 46,500. Okay, so when you subtract, you are going to get value of inventory to be 8,497. So you are going to get 8,497.40. Okay, 0.40, and 8,400, and this one is 347. So you will see that our answer, the lecturer has just interchanged some of the figures, so that if you just compare it with yours, if you don't look at it well, you just go for the option there. But this answer is not part of the option, so you pick what? E. Okay, you choose E. And that is it for question number 19. So now let's proceed to question number 20. It says, what is the value of inventory for the last 3 periods using the lower cost or market value? Okay, so for the last 3 periods. So I'm going to clean this one so that we solve for the last 3 periods. Okay. So for the last 3 periods, we have October, we have November, we have December. Okay, so October, we have November, right? And we have December. So when we say lower cost, what are we talking about? You compare the market value and the unit cost. The one that is lower, you pick. Okay, that is what you are going to multiply by the quantity. So when you check October like this, the last 3 period, October, when you compare the 2 prices, I think the unit cost is the less, which is 74.10. So you multiply that one by the 175. So 74.10. Okay, then you multiply it by 175. Then when you come to November 2, you check for the 2 prices, the one that is lower, and that one too is 80.15. Okay, so here you are going to get 80.15, multiplying the quantity in November, which is 225. Okay, and let's check that of December. December 2, we are having 85.15. So 85.15. Multiplying that of December, 260. Okay, and we do that. So you just multiply this and this. For October, I think it's the same as this. We're going to get the same 12,967.50. And for November 2, we're going to get C, which is 18,033.75. And for December, now the price has changed because here the lower one is no more the unit cost but rather the market value. So when you do that for December, you are going to get 22,139, right? So you add everything here, and what are you getting? 53,140. 53,140.25. Okay. Okay. So we check for this answer in question 20. 53,140.25. That is option B. Okay. So we say number 20 is option B. Okay. So this brings us to the end of the Midsem questions. We have solved all the Midsem questions. Okay. Kindly take your time, you go through and make sure you understand them so that it wouldn't be a problem when you get to your other exams. Okay. Once again, my name is Afari Ernest, and you can call me CEO. And please Kindly subscribe, you like, you share to your friends so that they will also want to benefit from whatever that we are doing. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you and bye bye.